Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Riti and I am back with another lecture of the DBMS series. So in the last lecture we got to know more about one-to-one relationships in ER model. Now today we would be knowing about one-to-many relationships. Now what is this one-to-one relationship? What is this one-to-many relationship and why are we eventually knowing about all these? So basically what happens now? Right now we are reading about ER model. So ER model basically means entity relationship model. So the relationship between two entities and the visual representation of that, or you can say the designing of that, is called as ER model. Now, as the name suggests, entity relationship. So there would be some relationship between different entities. Now what is entity? Any living thing or any living object is an entity. Now they would be having a relationship between them. Now entities is having relationship among them. Consider there is an entity A and there is an entity B. Consider the entity A is customer. Consider the entity B is the order it makes. Now there would be a relationship between customer and orders. What could be the relationship? Customer, place, order. So place is a relationship between these two. Now there are some mapping constraints which are present when we establish a relationship between two entities. So what is this mapping constraint? Mapping constraint are things like one customer can place only one order, that is one-to-one mapping constraint. One customer can place many orders, that is one-to-many mapping constraint. So basically the relationships or the connections or how these entities are being mapped in the relationship is called as mapping constraint. And there are various types of mapping constraints such as one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one and many-to-many. So today we would be knowing all about one-to-many. So I guess without any further delay, let's get started with the lecture. So one-to-many relationship. A database model where one entity on one side of the relationship is associated with multiple entities on the other side, it is called as one-to-many relationship. So basically what happens in a database model, when one entity is associated with many other consider that there is one record which is associated with many other records in the other side, or you can say in the other entity, then that is called as one-to-many relationship. So let's see from an example and understand from an example. So there are two entities. First one is an author entity, entity E1, and second entity is the book entity, that is entity E2. Now author reads book. Reads is the relationship between these two entities. Now there are certain characteristics of entities that is called as attribute. So here are attributes such as author ID, author name and author age. Here are some attributes such as book ID, book name and book type. Now in this author ID is the primary key, in this book ID is the primary key. Now here the relationship is also having an attribute that is called as booking date or publishing date. Like author publishes books, so what could be the publishing date? So basically these attributes are called as descriptive attributes. So whenever the relationship is having an attribute, that is called as descriptive attribute. So here there are two entities, a relationship between two entities. First entity is having some attribute or some characteristics. Second entity is also having some attributes and characteristics. There is one relationship that is also having an attribute such as publishing date or booking date. Now what happens in real life is now whenever we design a database or whenever we have been given some requirements and we design a database, so what happens is the first step is we get the requirements. Okay, these are the requirements. Second is we get the schema. So basically schema like person and the attributes or characteristics of person such as person name, person age, etc. Now from this schema we draw the ER model. That is basically the visual representation of data. And now after ER model there comes a relational model. That is basically from this visual representation we implement it in tables. And to do it physically, we use a language to do the physical implementation. We use a language that is called as SQL. So this is the format which goes ahead. So now I have the requirement, I have the schema, I have drawn the ER model. Now I'll turn the ER model into relational model, that is into tables. So how I'll form the tables? So I'll pick the first entity, entity E1. I'll draw the table for author. Now for the author, I'll mention all the characteristics. So basically characteristics are given in the columns. So author ID, author name, author age. Now I'll fill some data in here. Now here it is given that author ID is the primary key. So I'll mark author ID as the primary key. So basically this is the table for the author entity. Now coming to another entity, that is book entity. So this is the book entity and this is the author entity. So in the book entity also, now I go ahead with the characteristics. I give them in the columns, book ID, book name, book type. Now I'll provide some random data for all these as of now. And then since primary key is book ID, so book ID is something which would be unique for every record. Here also author ID is something which will remain unique for every record. Now this table is done, this table is done. Now I am coming to the relationship table, that is reads table. So what will be there in the relationship table? So basically relationship table is something now which is establishing a relationship between two entities. This entity can alone tell me details about the author. This entity can alone tell me the details about the books. But I don't know now which author has published which book. So basically in the relationship table what happens is the relationship which is defined or which is established between two entities, we mentioned that. So how the relationships established, you may have learned about primary key and foreign key relationship. If you haven't, I have uploaded a video on the same, so you can go ahead and have a look. So basically I'll give the primary key of the author table here, I'll give the primary key of the book table here, and the descriptive attribute of relationship table, that is b date or b, this is not b type, this is b date. So this is b date. So I'll give the descriptive attribute, I'll give the primary key here, and I'll give the primary key here. Now these both would be acting as a foreign key. As I told, now what is foreign key? Foreign key is a key which take reference from primary key of another table, basically establishes a relationship between two tables. So foreign key is establishing a relationship. So in the relationship table, that is read table, I am taking a foreign key which is directly pointing towards the primary key of the author table, and then BID is a foreign key which is directly pointing towards the primary key of the book table. So basically they are establishing a relationship. So the very first question which comes in mind is, okay, what would be the primary key in the relationship table? Because in the author table, AID was acting as a primary key. In the book table, BID was acting as a primary key. But in the relationship table, which among these two would act as a primary key? So basically what happens now, this is a one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationship means that one author can publish many books. So one author can publish many books. So basically A1 is an author which can publish B1 book. A2 is an author which can publish B2 book. A3 is A1 is again an author which can publish B3 book. So as I told now, one to many. So one author can publish many books. Either he or she can publish B1, B2 or B3. Now author 2 can publish B4, B5, B6. So one author can publish many books, but one book is published by only a single author. So if there is B4, it is published only by A2. If there is B1, it is published only by A1. So one author can publish many books, but one book is published by only one author. So what happens is that author ID is something which can be repetitive, like author 1 can publish B1 book, author 1 can again publish B3 book, author 2 can publish B2 book. So what happens is that you can see na कि there is duplicacy, or you can say कि A1 is repeating two times. For first time A1 is repeating for B1, second time A1 is repeating for B3. So A1 is something which cannot uniquely identify the records in the table because it is not unique. It is coming two times, maybe it can come 3 or 4 times. So what we do is कि generally in the many side, the primary key always lies. So what is the many side? Books is the many side. So one author can publish many books. So one author can publish B1, B2, B3, then other author can publish B4, B5. So basically one author can publish many books. A1 can publish B1 and B3. So book ID is something which is unique, but author ID is something which is not unique. So book ID is the primary key in case of the relationship table. So you can just think in this way, ki primary key always lies in the many side. So whenever there is a many side, the primary key would be lying only there. So book ID is the primary key. Now the second question which comes into mind is, can we reduce these tables? So let's see about this. So this is the author table. This is the book table. And this is the reads table. Just now we knew that B ID is the primary key in the read table. Now author ID is the primary key here and B ID is the primary key here. So yes, the answer is yes, we can reduce the table. How we can reduce the table? So you can see now in this particular reads table and in this particular book table, the primary key is same. B ID is a primary key here and B ID is also a primary key here. So what we can do is we can combine these both tables and we can make one single table. So author would be a single table, that is one table, and book table along with read table can be a second table. So basically from 3 tables we have reduced to 2 tables. So when we will combine these 2 tables, what we will do is first we will give the primary key, that is B ID, B1, B2, B3. Now we will start with the attributes. So B name is here, B type is here, now A ID is here and B date is here. So basically the combination of these two can give me a table, and B ID is something which would remain unique for both the tables. So B ID will be coming one, and then these A ID, B date, B name and B type would be there. So basically from 3 tables we have reduced to 2 tables. So just summarizing, so one-to-many relationship means whenever one entity is associated with many records in the other entity, that is called as one-to-many relationship. Now in one-to-many relationship, in the relationship table, primary key always lies at that side where there is a many relationship. So basically whenever there is 1 to n, consider that there is a customer and it has a relationship with order 1 to n. So where there is the n side, that is in the order side, the primary key will always lie there. Now the second thing is, can we reduce the table? Yes, we can reduce the table, because again in the relationship table, primary key is something which is common in the relationship table as well the entity table which is on the other side. So we can combine those tables. So from 3 tables we can reduce to 2 tables. So this was all about one-to-many relationship. So if you like this video, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you're someone who is new to my channel, then go ahead and check out the tech content first. And if you like it, please go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you're someone, or if you know someone who is looking out for a DBMS series, you can suggest this series to them, because everything is discussed from very basics, and all the topics such as like what is table, what is rows, everything is covered. So you can suggest this playlist to them. Till then, take care. Keep learning, keep growing, keep smiling. Bye all.